As we all know, YouTube is a place where you can pretty much upload whatever you want. You want to upload makeup videos? Upload makeup videos. You want to upload gaming videos? Upload gaming videos. You want to teach people how to, I don't know, build a pool? Upload a video teaching people how to build a pool. All of this content though, it's all good and all, but as all of us know, there's another section of YouTube that some would say is one of the biggest sections on the entirety of YouTube. That section being commentary YouTube. To give a brief summary about what the commentary side of YouTube is, saying brief mainly because, well, we all know what it is already. Commentary YouTube is the side of YouTube where people have a sit down in front of their desks, in front of their cameras, and just have a talk about something. Especially things regarding controversy. Serious controversy, not so serious controversy. If anything's got a mere ounce of drama attached to it, if you search it up on YouTube, you'll probably find a commentary video on it. Especially about things that happened in the year of our Lord 2021. Which is why I decided, well, if YouTube wasn't going to do a YouTube rewind this year, I was going to try to do one. But instead of showcasing a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of people who you just don't know, I didn't want to do that though. I wanted to create something a little bit different. I wanted to create something that looks back on all of the mental drama found in 2021 because while, yes, we've all been locked in our homes for what seems like eternity by this point, this hasn't stopped some YouTubers, some changes, some video games from being absolutely terrible. Now, before getting into the nitty-gritty of this video, hey, did you know that this YouTuber from your childhood, did you know that he's a groomer? I think it would be a good idea to have a chat about some more general controversies that happened in 2021. Meaning that, well, yes, I do like wearing this haha very smart little blazer thing. I'm gonna need a little bit of an outfit change, so, I didn't really write this part into the script. Forgive me for the 2017 vlogger transition thing, but if you've been following along with the recent YouTube lore, the changes that have happened on YouTube in 2021, then I'm pretty sure that, well, you know that while, yes, this YouTube Rewind exists, the official YouTube Rewind, the thing that got all of those dislikes a couple years ago. Speaking of dislikes, as we all know, dislikes have been on YouTube pretty much ever since the beginning of the website. And, well, if you were to ask me what I think about them, I would tell you that I think they're pretty integral to the website as a whole. That feature, yeah, that's gone too. Now, pretty obviously, YouTube removing these pretty integral features, it was gonna cause a little bit of controversy. More so the removal of dislikes as opposed to the removal of YouTube Rewind. Sorry about that one, Will. But at the end of the day, throughout the controversy surrounding these changes, some people have been angry about it, but the majority of people, we've just been kind of confused. As for YouTube, they seemingly refuse to tell people the actual reason behind why they've made these changes. I know they made a video on it, but, well, most people, we just don't really believe what YouTube was saying in that video. Since nobody believes what YouTube is saying about why they removed these features, of course, people have started to create some game theories about why they removed said features. Firstly, or the funniest theory, people think that YouTube removed dislikes because YouTube Rewind 2018 got spammed with them. And well, secondly, which is probably the most plausible game theory out of all of these theories, YouTube removed dislikes thanks to pressure from our large corporate overlords. Because said large corporations, they want to push some form of agenda and some narrative online. Sure, the removal of dislikes, it may alleviate from 1 or 2 dislike spam campaigns, but what about actual spam videos? What about videos that are scams? What about genuinely bad videos? What about those genuinely bad instruction videos that if you follow along with it, you're not going to solve the problem that you're trying to solve? No, what's going to happen is that you're going to somehow end up uninstalling your antivirus and disabling your firewall because, don't worry, mate, I'm not trying to make you download anything The list, it goes on and on and on, and I'm pretty sure that you can think of reasons as to why YouTube removing dislikes is bad that I haven't even thought about in my entire life. It is all good and all to think about theories as to why YouTube removed all of these features, but well, at the end of the day, I just reckon that we're all going to have to live with these changes. Because YouTube, they have received lots of feedback, something that they do say that they take on board, but they're just not listening.
Yeah, it's rewind time. Fortnite, Fortnite.
Is this what you wanted?
Hi, my name is Ben, aka Heflmyer133. We're going to be rewinding on a controversial topic, NFTs. In the most basic terms, an NFT is a digital asset, like a piece of art that has a tracker that can't be forged or replicated. This concept allows the owner of the digital asset to verify its authenticity and originality. The rise in popularity of this concept is partially due to legitimate multi-million-dollar digital art transactions, but also because the newly arisen NFT bro has seen these multi-million-dollar transactions, notices the volatility of the NFT market, and is looking to get in on that coin. This is a large reason why NFTs are disliked by so many. You know, there are some legitimate artists who are trying to make a living or just blow up off of these NFTs. There are just as many who generate NFTs solely for the sake of profit. Even sometimes to the point of stealing other artists' work, or just making something that would make you and I go, like, how the f is this worth $34,000? You can own this for... So this is worth $1,000. Okay, what about Eye Patch Guy? He's worth... Okay, so this one's worth $760,000. Okay, alright, this guy is currently worth $4,000, $3,000, $4,000, so, that's cool. I'm happy people are investing in this. Oh look, this one's $6,000. He must be special. No, not really. But beyond the subjective view of what has value and what doesn't, there are other more pressing and serious reasons why people dislike NFTs. I'm no mathematician, but we got two graphs right now, right? One with the value and one with the terawatt hour. If we're to just do quick Google searches, they estimate that in 2020, the global cryptocurrency market was at 1.49 billion. Global banking market is worth 7.5 trillion euros. I'm not even going to convert from US dollar to euros. This is just way more. That's not even half of a trillion. It's such a small fraction of it, I can't even get it. So if I was to put the value of the crypto market, I'm going to mark this little thing here, this little tiny guy here. Now if I'm to mark the global bank market, it's all the way at the top, right? This is all of our value. Trillion, 7 trill. That's what that is. This isn't barely even 1 trillion. If we were to look at the terawatt hours, our global bank system is using 263.72. The very top of our graph on this one is 300. Then we're going up to 260. So that's what we got. That's what we got here. So now if we look over at the crypto, dang, we're using 91 terawatt hours per year. Look at the comparison of the value versus the actual usage of energy. All these reasons combine until people would get upset that a company or a brand would even release NFT. You know, all these big corporations, they see the money that's being made, they see an unexplored market, they go, we're gonna dip our toes right in, we're gonna get a little bit of this coin. And most oftentimes people have backlash to that. And there are quite a few different companies who have announced NFTs only to rescind that because they've had quite a bit of backlash from their fans.
For them, it proved to be too much.
Someone rebooted Stan Lee's Twitter account, may he rest in peace, to shill an NFT, and they do it in a really sleazy way, championing diversity to embrace new tech. Stan was one step ahead of the curve, so they've designed an NFT in his honor. I don't expect these to be going away anytime soon. I'm sure in 2022 there will be some more to rewind. Well, until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your year. Thank you to The Beak for having me on. I introduce you to next creator.
On Monday, the 4th of October 2021, a lot of people found themselves locked out from Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. The services went down for roughly 6 hours and without further complications went back up afterward. Most people just forgot about it, but there was an official explanation. The official explanation is that someone configured something incorrectly, leading to servers not being able to resolve the DNS names to the sites. That's the URL they type into the browser, by the way. That would mean, though, that someone configured something wrong for Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram at the same time, or that all of them have the same person managing the configurations, or that they all resolve in the same ID in the background, which would be a huge security risk because now you only have one point of failure for 3 different sites. It's weird, and most likely true. It's dumb, but it's true. Far more interesting are the conspiracies surrounding this blackout. The most interesting being that Facebook intentionally caused this outage to avert everybody's eyes from their ongoing feud with a former employee that basically exposed Facebook for being completely amoral with their algorithms. Kinda old news, but okay. Should this be true, which most likely it isn't, it kind of worked. Barely nobody gave a damn beforehand, and now the topic's completely buried alive. Another theory is how, again, the Facebook blackout was intentionally done to cover up another story, but this time it was the Panama Papers. For the undeveloped children in the back row, the Panama Papers are basically a giant wall of documents showing that almost every rich person commits tax fraud. Again, kinda old news, but okay. This is definitely not true. The Panama Papers are already in the hands of authorities. The problem is that some people are just so rich and powerful that literally nothing can put them in jail. The last one is the one I find the most bizarre and most out there. So there are people that believe that all of this was a hoax because reasons. What actually happened, according to those people, is that the government hypnotized everyone and made everyone believe that Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were down. Listen, I know it's hard to use your brain, and there have been real conspiracies in the past, but come on, it was just an outage. Literally, just a fucking outage. One thing is clear, Facebook, Insta, and probably WhatsApp lost a lot of money that day. They wouldn't say how much, but we can speculate it's probably around the multi-million dollars here. Anyways, TLDR, Facebook goes...
Now that we've got all of the general stuff out of the way, it's time to focus on the controversies, the dramas that were heavily featured on Commentary YouTube in 2021. Remember how I said that thing in the beginning of this video?
Hey, did you know that this YouTuber from your childhood, did you know that he's a groomer?
This is the section of this video where we talk about all of that type of stuff, so sit back in your chair, grab a drink, and I hope you enjoy.
How's it going, boys and girls? TiredCast here, and it seems as if 2021 is just about to be over. As of right now, it is the 29th of December, and we only have 2 days left of this year. And because of that, the Beak has asked me to come on here and discuss shit that has happened in the past 12 months. Now, before I discuss what my topic's about, I actually want to go on a little tangent about my topic itself, because it's just so fucking vague. We have Lanza talking about CreepshowArt, we have potentially Scrimzox talking about CallMeCarson, and I, of course, was stuck with pedos. Just pedos, nothing more. I just don't even know what the fuck that means. And of course, when I go to the Beak and ask him what he means by this, he says, and I quote, like EDP445 and Kiwis. Beak, you know that Kiwis was exposed like 4 years ago, man. There's not much I can talk about him when the allegation was out 4 years ago and not in 2021. But I digress, and I guess my topic is talking about anyone who's exposed with having inappropriate conversations with a minor throughout 2021. And there's actually a lot of people who were exposed for doing this type of shit, may they be a big content creator or a very small content creator. So with that being said, let me drain my mental capacity and talk about every single content creator who was exposed in 2021. My god, I'm in so much fucking pain. Creepy produces a 19-year-old Mario Kart channel with over 100,000 subscribers and was accused in early January of having sexual talks with a 15-year-old a month before. This 15-year-old wanted to meet her favorite content creator, but very soon he turned it into a very sexual talking. She would come out against him, causing Creepy to shut down his Discord and make a response video fairly quickly. The response video included him confessing about most of the things and also trying to downplay the whole situation. When it was found out he was lying about the downplays, he made a second response video, unlisted both of them for about a week later, and left YouTube for a solid 11 months straight. He made one update video 2 weeks ago, but since then he has not come back to YouTube. I think I'm going to talk about Carson fairly briefly due to Scrimzox having a whole spot talking about him in the first place. In January of 2021, Carson was exposed for sexting a 17-year-old on Discord when he was 19. His friends Hugbox and Travis were the ones who exposed him in a Drama Alert interview, and since then people have been up in the air about whether or not he is guilty. He came back about a half a year later to stream on Twitch once more full-time. EDP445 is a very strange case. In 2020, he was exposed for sexting a catfish impersonation of a minor. Cold Raven was the one behind the catfish and made the first allegation, but was shot down fairly quickly by EDP's fans. EDP actually didn't give out any solid rebuttal, fun fact. He kinda just acted like a spaz whenever discussing the allegations. But in 2021, it was shown that EDP was trying to sext another minor. And then when he attempted to actually fucking meet up with her, he was caught by predator poachers in a sting operation. EDP was caught red-handed, and because of that, YouTube terminated his channel. EDP has attempted to return since this thing, trying to create his own website to put out videos, but nothing has really came up from that. This one was a little bit different from the others, as he really was not exposed for sexting a minor per se. Max has always been a degenerate troll on YouTube, sending raids of oh yeah yeah to streamers, making false accusations toward YouTubers, and even getting people in Discord's calls to do poop play type stuff. You know, I'm not gonna discuss this latter action. You can watch Turkey Tom's video on Max, but no, I'm not talking about shit play. But in February of 2021, Moist Critical made a video calling out Max for having CP on his server regularly. It would be shown that Max knew about the pictures of underage folks and didn't very much care about it. People would get upset after Critical put out his video, and Max would make a very bad rebuttal before leaving YouTube, coming back about a month later and then leaving YouTube once more. He's not uploaded anything since. Raulzito was a South American streamer who was mainly focused on streaming Fortnite. He got the bright idea of creating an esports/YouTube company-based group involving minors who looked to be on television in the near future. Anything but that happened though, as Raul was soon arrested for sexually assaulting some of these children clients. To the day of the recording, Raulzito is still in custody. I guess I'm talking about Kiwis. Okay, in 2017, Kiwis was exposed for sexting a minor when he was an early adult. Pics were exchanged, making things very illegal with this minor. He was actually very much known for getting away with it, though, becoming very popular in the Fortnite genre. But in summer of 2021, Nicholas Diorio hosted a Drama Alert reigniting the allegations, very much hurting Kiwi's channel. But to this day, Kiwis is still going, with his last video on Fortnite being put out 13 days ago. Alright, this is gonna be like a lightning round for all the small commentators who were exposed in 2021. These commentators range from 100 subs to like 10,000 subscribers, and I kind of knew them all personally. So with that, we're just gonna do like a speed through of them all. Vex is a small commentator who was exposed in September of 2021 for sexting a 15-year-old minor. Vex was 18 at the time and initiated the sexting. She admitted to everything, left the commentary community and YouTube as a whole, and has not returned since. Elucid is also another strange case. In late 2020, he was exposed for sexting a minor on Instagram, but he and John Swan came out defending everything and calling it fake. But later in 2021, people like LRDR Calvin showed that there was no way that these screenshots could have been faked. Because of that, Elucid has left YouTube and has not come back since, and shit is really up in the air on whether or not he is guilty. Oh, and a song was released about his actions, and it's
This song is fucking great.
In 2020, Remains came out stating he was in love with a 14-year-old when he was 17. People forgave him quickly and things moved on until September of 2021. It was revealed that the now 18-year-old was exposed for sexting a minor, and when he was caught, he took full responsibility. That is, until he deactivated his Twitter, dated another minor, broke up with that minor, and tried to get with a third minor. This guy has not changed from his actions ever since he was exposed, and has only been the talk of the town recently due to his more chic actions with minors. He's not uploaded since the expose. Mr. Nobody was exposed in October 2021 for trying to buy hands and thigh pics from a minor. After he was exposed, it was shown that he sent inappropriate pictures to GamerTrash14, a 15-year-old commentator at the time. Other people have came out to say that Mr. Nobody would make very inappropriate conversations with them as well. Mr. Nobody has not been heard from since the allegations. Cherry Blossom is a 16-year-old streamer who was exposed only a couple days ago for allegedly trying to sex a 12-year-old alongside trying to receive incest porn from a 5-year-old. Cherry's only response was that she was virtually raped by someone else in the commentary community while providing very little to no evidence that a raping actually occurred. As of right now to this recording, things are not looking too good for Cherry. And that's all the people who were exposed in 2021 for having sexual talks with anyone under the age of 18. That's way too many people to be exposed. Oh, and by the way, this isn't everyone as well. People like Jax was a small commentator who was exposed for sexting a minor, but there's been talks regarding his real age being 17 and not like mid-20s. There's talks about Technical's brother and a group chat involving CP, and that whole shit is convoluted as fuck. There are talks about the Smash player named Zero and whether or not he's a predator for trying to sext a minor, which I highly suggest you watch John Swan's video about because I really can't summarize the whole controversy in layman's terms. And I'm so fucking glad most of these people no longer make videos on YouTube anymore. If they are a danger to their own audience, then they should no longer have a platform in the slightest. But anyways, with that being said, my part has been done. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not liked or subscribed, what the f are you doing? Do that right now. And I'll see you all in a later video. Bye.
So, here we are on the Beaks Commentary Rewind. It's always a pleasure appearing on this man's channel, although the catch today is, right, I've been tasked with covering OhmWrecker. It's quite funny though, because some would say I have a very interesting friendship with OhmWrecker, as you'll find out later on in this video, and some would even say, I can hear them saying right now, well, wouldn't TJV be a better fit right now? Well, to those people I say, he's just a Vanos stan with a mic, and quite frankly, he's just too f***ing boring. So OhmWrecker has been in drama for what it seems like years, but this year, let's be honest, it's the icing on the cake. This year's shocking drama all started with OhmWrecker going to Keemstar and revealing that the Vanos crew had been involved with messaging minors, specifically where they set up Delirious to talk to a girl who was underage. Cue the Vanos fanbase meltdown. But this did eventually lead Delirious coming out in a twit longer and basically admitting to this by trying to look for sympathy, and let's be honest, he got that sympathy. Literally every Vanos fan was like, oh my god, it's alright Delirious, it's okay baby, you didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, if this was anybody else, well, I think it'd be a different story. However, I somehow ended up talking to OhmWrecker on Discord because he was really upset with one of my past videos and he really wanted it deleted. Yeah, okay mate, but after some pointless small talk, he then revealed Delirious was involved in CP. What? He then came out and revealed that shocking bombshell to the public, and cue further Vanos crew fanbase meltdowns. I love it really. Now, bearing in mind, still to this day, there is still no concrete evidence of Delirious being involved in this. You know, it's just word of mouth, OhmWrecker crying on Twitter, but saying that, you know, it still didn't stop them going back and forth on Twitter like little children making claims about each other. If you kept up with it, I don't know if I should feel proud of you or sorry for you, because it's a load of in my opinion. Both of you should have got a root. And now, time for a world exclusive just for you guys. You won't see this anywhere else. A few weeks ago, right, I decided to make another video on the Vanos crew. It was called The Fall of the Vanos Crew. Creative, I know. And in this video, I kind of went in depth with the drama surrounding Delirious and OhmWrecker. Now, of course, a few fans weren't happy with that. That's, you know, predictable, but I didn't predict this next thing because the very next morning, I don't know if it was the next morning, the day up, whatever, I did wake up to a very interesting message. Can you guess from who? Yeah, OhmWrecker came out and messaged me and said I wasn't doing this, I wasn't doing that, I wasn't saying this part of the story, basically and complaining, and called my video pretty gross. So it was only natural for me to clap back with a nice right hook to the biggest crybaby on the internet, and well, there's been no reply since, so but the seriousness of this drama can't be overlooked, let's be honest, because making claims about somebody being in possession or being involved with CP is a massive claim, especially when you have no evidence. I mean, you must have some balls on you. And naturally, you know, for Delirious, he's never had to face this sort of accusation until now, so as you might guess, he dealt with it, well, in my opinion, pretty poorly, because he also started to act like a little bitch on Twitter by making secret accounts to try and expose OhmWrecker, making claims here, there, everywhere, to the point where he actually got his Twitter account suspended. He's a grown man, by the way. But I think that's the Vanos crew, you know, a very appealing gaming group to all the prepubescent boys and girls in the world, because, well, they don't have anything else to do and don't know any better, but underneath the surface, well, I think there's a few people who will be crossed off each other's Christmas card list this year. I think it's safe to say that one. But I think that's me done, so whoever you've got next, give them a nice warm welcome, and 2022. Hope it's better.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I've been tasked with covering the Carson situation on the Beaks channel. Thanks for having me. I recorded the background gameplay when I was incredibly drunk, and I think the gameplay will reflect that. But essentially what happened with CallMeCarson was he was accused of sexting a 17-year-old girl when he was 19, and he admitted it to the lunch club, which is what his friend group is called. And he got absolutely cancelled over this. He left the internet for a while. For some reason, people got angry at him over this, when in my opinion, he didn't really do anything wrong. People trying to make the claim of power dynamics with him being a big YouTuber speaking to fans, and I guess there is some credibility to that. For example, if you're a big fan of a celebrity and they come to you and, you know, ask you to do stuff, it's like, if you're a big fan of that person, you'll probably still do it, even though you wouldn't have done it if it was, you know, a stranger, for example. Or maybe you just don't want to do it even though it's the person you know, like, but you just don't want them to not like you for not doing it. So that's where the whole power dynamic argument came from, and I feel like that's where most of the legitimate hate came from for Carson. 4 documentaries on this were made by people, and if you want to go and watch those to get more info, I'd highly recommend it. As well as the video just called Carson on the Weekly Slap, this is Slatch of the channel. Carson made a response video called Moving Forward, where he said that he will be coming back to streaming on Twitch, but the all revenue made this year is going to be going to a charity. So he's not going to be profiting off of anything at all, and it's all going to be going to charity, which I guess helps his image, but I still think it's a bit ridiculous that he's being cancelled over this when the age gap was, you know, 2 years. Essentially a very, very common age gap, and he was cancelled over it. It's just a little bit ridiculous to me. I'll have to comment on this video saying Return of the King. Somebody said what's up checkmark, and then like here said I don't agree, but he got absolutely destroyed in ratio for having the wrong opinion by Blue here, so you know he would think twice before making that comment again towards me. There's not really much else to the situation. CallMeCarson essentially just did a bit of trolling being what a lot of teenagers do, which is speak to girls around the same age as them. Yeah, that being said, that's essentially the situation. Thank you for having me on the channel, Beak, and peace out.
Hello, I am Briel, and hello, Beak viewers. Today I'll be discussing the Save the Kids situation. Back in June of this year, members of the organization FaZe Clan, alongside creators such as RiskyAnt, would begin to promote the token. So on June 4th, a website called SaveTheKids.io was launched to the public. Unfortunately, it would come out to be that the Save the Kids token was a pump and dump scheme. So they had promoted the token so it would raise in price, and fans / people who thought they were putting their money into a good cause would put their money into the token. But when it was launched, these ambassadors and early investors would immediately sell their tokens. Though help from fellow commentators such as CoffeeZilla and some ordinary gamers and their thorough research, it would come to light that there was fraud going on with the Save the Kids token. The anti-whale mechanism. What the anti-whale mechanism does is to implement that no one who holds more than 20% of a token can sell before 24 hours have passed from the launch. Though in the case of the Save the Kids token, the anti-whale code was changed from 24 hours to a literal minute. The creators and investors behind Save the Kids definitely had the intention to sell their bags as soon as they could for profit. Quick to mention, one of the only innocents coming out of this situation would be FaZe Tico, as his wallet address showed that he didn't sell his tokens, but even bought more after Save the Kids was launched, thinking he was actually helping kids. Anyways, the ambassadors would slowly start covering their tracks and deleting tweets about the launch, and the unlucky people who put their money into the tokens were scammed. There were other people involved, such as Summer Rae, Jordan Galen, who reached out to creators to be an ambassador, Sam Pepper, who was blamed by Kay, one of the ambassadors, in his response videos, which were all completely destroyed by CoffeeZilla. Once all this information was made public, FaceClan would make an official statement suspending all of the members involved and would completely remove Kay from FaceClan. I loved how it was called Save the Kids, but the only ones who needed saving at the end were the adults.
Hello there, I'm Lanza, and today we'll be going over the CreepshowArt drama that went down this past year. The drama was pretty damn wild, and will definitely be remembered for a long time in YouTube history. I have a video on my own channel going over the entirety of it for those of y'all interested, but for now let's go over a quick rundown on what exactly happened. CreepshowArt was a former YouTuber that made videos revolving mainly around art community drama and T-channel drama in general. She hit her stride very early on in the channel's lifetime, amassing over 500,000 subscribers in just 3 short years. She was known throughout multiple communities on YouTube, and was generally seen as good entertainment for her side of the website. She was looking to keep on growing for more years to come, but all of that would soon change on June 2nd, 2021. Late into the day, a moderator on the website Blackout, a site used for covering T-channel related gossip, put out a post claiming that they had gathered a slew of posts from CreepshowArt and saying that they were exposing her for breaking the site's rules of posting for the sake of attention or profit and deceptively talking about themselves in the third person. The posts that were exposed were nothing short of shocking, as a lot of the things that she said were things nobody could have expected her to say. Not only were they bad to hear, but they were also hypocritical, and if there's one thing people don't like on the internet, it is a big hypocrite. People like their content creators to be authentic, not to fake a persona for money and attention, and with these posts exposed for everyone to see, it was very clear that CreepshowArt was putting on a persona. The fallout from the exposed posts were nothing short of insane, as people were shitting on her, and hard. I can't say I'm surprised either, because people love their drama, and you know if a big YouTuber gets exposed like she did, there was bound to be some shit flying around. She would make a community post about some sort of stalker hacking into her internet, writing all that nasty stuff, pretty much just trying to shift blame onto somebody that doesn't even exist. Video after video was made about her, and her subscriber count started to plummet as expected. Things don't get any better either, as art YouTuber Emily Artful would make a series of Twitter posts claiming that CreepshowArt had been harassing her for years, and now was the perfect time to come out about it in her own video. Just when CreepshowArt thought things couldn't get any worse, they did. Emily Artful releases CreepshowArt has always been like this on June 12th, a 2-hour-long video going over a lot of information about her harassment. Most of the videos about Emily and her ex-boyfriend, and CreepshowArt comes into the mix when it was revealed that Emily's ex-boyfriend and CreepshowArt got together and they both started to harass and stalk Emily for almost a decade. The video is a very long watch, but to sum it all up, CreepshowArt put Emily through hell and back, all because she didn't like Emily, with the reasoning as to why still being unknown to this day. The video was the final nail in the coffin for CreepshowArt's internet career, as people wanted nothing to do with her anymore. To put it simply, she was fucked. She was the one who decided to harass Emily with her ex-boyfriend, she was the one who made up the fake stalker for attention, and she was the one who would show her true colors on Locale under the guise of anonymity. Eventually, everything came to bite her in the ass, but considering this was her own undoing, you can't feel bad for her whatsoever. This wouldn't be the last time we heard of her, however. CreepshowArt would message news YouTuber Tipster on July 7th, basically just started an argument with him, and he wouldn't take none of that shit and swiftly moved on after posting it to all of Twitter for everyone to see. It was a quick look into her attitude post-controversy, and you can tell she was just trying to get into Tipster's pants for something in return, cause why else would she go to one of the nicest guys, if not the nicest guy, who makes commentary videos? This would be the last that people would hear from CreepshowArt herself, as there hasn't been any posts from her since. Emily Artful will drop a second CreepshowArt video on August 21st, going over extra evidence she found and solidifying her arguments from the video prior, piecing everything together. This is the last major piece of evidence against CreepshowArt, and it's safe to assume she won't ever be coming back on the internet anytime, if not ever again. Thank you to the Beak for letting me on this video. It was fun as hell to sum everything up again, cause god damn, this drama was something else, man. Be sure to check out my channel if you're interested in my videos, and subscribe if you like them. There's no need for me to go on any longer. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I hope y'all enjoy the next segment. I'll see y'all later.
Alright, boys. The time has come to talk about T-channels. Yeah, I might have dirtied a mug just to make that dumbass joke. Do I care, though? No. Drink water. So some of y'all might be thinking, why are T-channels on this list? Who fucking cares? They're really just on here just because, for the most part, they're cringe. And a lot of people just don't fuck with them. That's about it. So, I am going to talk about why they're cringe and why people don't like them. Now, my first criticism, let's just get this out the way. T-channels. The name itself is just some high school bullshit. Ooh, sis, let me spill the tea type shit. No one unironically says that shit. And if you do, you're probably a freshman or sophomore in high school. So when you're trying to run a news channel that's under the term T-channel, it don't take you seriously. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not gonna be in the conversations with Drama Alert and Scares if you're a fucking T channel. It's just, stop, no. And it fucks you up when you talk about serious topics such as tragic events or allegations, because it being on your channel just makes it look and sound like some high school bullshit. And that's another thing, their voices, they're just so like exaggerated and so fucking annoying to listen to. Holy shit, I couldn't get through like 2 fucking T-channel videos at a time. That shit was horrible. And don't we all just love some filler in videos? You know, just a straight up filler arc for the first 5 minutes of a 6-minute video. Yeah, that's what a lot of these channels do on their videos, just to get that ad revenue, get that watch time, to get cha-ching some of that money. Fuck you talking about, you feel me? Now look, me personally, I don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do. You know, get your bag how you want to get your bag. But if you're doing it on the internet, I have the right to criticize you for it. Whatever you put on the internet has the right to be criticized, wrongfully or rightfully criticized. It is what it is. And even calling them news channels is kind of fucking stretching it, because they will literally put out the most face value shit you've ever seen and just put it off as real or fact. Like Tony Lopez, for example. You know, he's been outed as a creep by a lot of people. Just for that reason, if a rumor came out that Tony Lopez fucking shot somebody in the face, T-channels would take that and just run with that shit and just pass that shit off as news or spilling the tea. No, bitch, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're literally spreading a rumor, like I said, on some high school shit. Now, with all this being put together, the whole T-channel label, the whole making tragic events and serious allegations sound like fucking high school drama, and just running with face value news, and even more shit that I haven't even gotten into because this segment's not supposed to be that fucking long. So here's some other videos on T-channels and shit if you want to go ahead and, you know, do your own research on that and gather your own opinion. Yeah, T-channels don't get the best fucking rep. Anyway, that's been my segment. My name's Shy. Stay hydrated. I am the Commentary Patrick CC. Here are my socials. Feel free to follow any of those. And best hair in the game, out.
Well, look who the cat dragged in. Hello internet, what is happening? Villain Retro, and I am going to talk about the Dream cheating scandal. Now, I'm just summarizing this drama briefly, but if you want to watch a full video in depth about it, I suggest you watch one by a certain YouTuber you may know, a certain sexy bastard. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock or don't have access to the internet, let me tell you who Dream is. Dream is a mildly popular YouTuber slash Twitch streamer, and he's got popular playing this underground indie game called Minecraft. Oh yeah, and let me just say, he's killing it with numbers at the minute, okay? Subs, views, this guy's massive. So yeah, he's kind of big news. Speaking of big news, in October 2020, Dream attempted a speedrun at the 1.16 version of Minecraft, and he completed it in 19 minutes and 25 seconds, which is awesome. Or is it? Shortly after Dream posted his run, a moderator of the Minecraft speedrunning community called GeoSquare posted a video being like, this doesn't really add up. Basically, he went into it and saying that in Dream's run, there were some drops he was getting that were just a bit too lucky. As I said, I can't go into too much detail, but basically he used Maz, he used all this stuff to be like, I'm calling BS. So how did Dream respond to this? That's right, he was like, no lads, I didn't cheat. I have a professor backing me up. Dream literally got Einstein to be like, according to my calculations, you're wrong. Dream got a professor to call out the moderators of the Minecraft speedrunning community. Then they were like, bro, do you even Minecraft? Why are you getting some Albert Einstein wannabe to try and back up your claims? We've got the receipts. It doesn't add up. So we're at a standstill, okay? We've got Dream being like, I didn't cheat. I've got Einstein in my corner. And we've got the moderators being like, bro, you cheated. I mean, what can you do? You've got a guy defending his innocence and you've got the accusers. It's a standstill. And that's where our story ends. I mean, Dream's not going to come out and admit, yeah, I actually did cheat. Wait, what? Wait, he did? So yeah, after all this fiasco, getting Einstein in your corner, claiming your innocence, Dream, 6 months later, decides to be like, yeah, I did cheat, but I kinda didn't. Basically, Dream then said that he didn't know he was cheating because he was using like a mod version that he didn't know, or I don't know. You know what? Find it, read it for yourself. So yeah, Dream finally admitted to cheating, and can you guess what happened to him? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's right, your boy is still killing it with views, still killing it with subscribers. It's gonna take a lot more than this to take down Dream. So yeah, moral of the story, if you're famous enough and successful enough, you can get away with anything. And that was the tragic tale of Dream. What a great story. Thanks to the Beak for letting me be part of this. Take care, lads. Have a happy new year. Stay safe.
Cancel culture. Cancel culture, cancel culture. Hello everyone, my name is RandomGSZ, and I have been invited by the Beak here to talk about cancel culture with him. And specifically, what he asked me to ask me, why do people want to cancel creators? And well, this breaks down into various possibilities of things. This breaks down into various possibilities, and I've been studying drama for a long time. I've been watching drama, studying how it always goes down, and it always goes to a few categories. Or people actually want to be good and want to basically turn down a creator who's actually doing very bad things, such as Minilad and Lionmaker, who are very bad people who abuse minors, for example. Sometimes they're just misinformed and only want to believe a creator or a victim, even though there's a lot of evidence. For example, like ProJared and Slazo, and also, or just a creator that they basically has a bad rep and they also don't like. For example, Leafy. Leafy was basically destroyed and basically canceled at some point, and people celebrated his ban because they didn't like him. But then, because cancel culture just want to get rid of creators that they don't find sparkly clean, and they just want to get, and with the dynamic that is in this type of day in the internet, which is guilt to proven innocent, not innocent to proven guilty, people won't care about fucking screenshots until you actually present them. If you do a basic accusation against someone without screenshots, most to half of the people will start believing you without question if you sound emotionally based enough and that the accusations sound properly worded and instructed, regardless if there's no evidence about it. But anyway, these are my only 2 cents on this drama. This is my only 2 cents on this fucking topic, on the concept of cancel culture. If you guys want to go check me out in the description, or maybe in the description of this video, go check me out. RandomGSZ, you can find all my social medias. And by the way, the Beak is using the music in this video that is mine. It is my music. If you guys want to check it out, you can find my music on my YouTube channel via a link on my Bandlab. But you guys have a nice day.
It's not only online creators who have found themselves in a little bit of hot water in 2021. No, you see, if you go and have a look at the gaming sphere of YouTube in 2021, you're gonna find a little bit of controversy there too. Remember how earlier I said, you know, go grab a drink and all of that type of stuff? If you still got that drink, if you haven't finished it, replace it with some G Fuel. Because this is the part of the video where we talk about gaming controversy.
Hey, I'm RiskyAnt. I'm going to be talking about the broken/rushed release video games of 2021. So without further ado, let's jump down this rabbit hole. Battlefield 2042. This game was not great at launch. No destructible environments, no in-game voice chat, even though it's an online multiplayer game, and the most daunting thing about this game are the ridiculous bugs. I mean, look at this. Does this look normal to you? Now, I'm not entirely sure if the hovercraft being able to go up walls was intentional on the developer's part, but I'm going to say it wasn't. This is something that shouldn't have made it to the official product, and it's beyond me that this game got released. Call of Duty Vanguard. I feel like this clip just sums this game up perfectly.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the...
There's also texture glitches.
No.
And some FOV bugs. Back for Blood. There are just, oh, so many bugs in this game. Halo Infinite. At launch, this game sucked. Paid content sucks, the game modes are disappointing and underwhelming, custom games are broken, and every time I try, the game just crashed, so whatever. It might just be my PC, but I'll blame it on the game because I'm in denial.
Hello, your computer has virus.
Battleland Wonderworld. I bet a lot of you guys forgot about this game. This game was directed by Yuji Naka and is somehow horrible. Yuji Naka has made some pretty good games in the past, but this was a pretty big letdown. The gameplay is like so stiff. There's no momentum to the characters. It's just so incredibly slow. It might be one of the worst platformers I've ever played. I haven't played many platformers, so don't take that comment too seriously. Far Cry 6. This game is bad. Terrible combat, trash weapon modeling, obnoxious characters, an appalling narrative, and it's just overall a confused abomination. But now it all comes down to why. Why were these games released in a broken state? Maybe it's the companies? Maybe COVID had an effect? Maybe they just wanted to meet the deadline. I personally think that the developers of these games didn't give two shits about what they were putting out. They just said, hovercraft going up walls, a bunch of bugs and glitches? Oh, it's fine. They'll like it for the low price of $60. There's no problems here. Maybe we can chuck it in an item shop, you know, to get even more money out of them. I'm sure it'll be great, guys. Don't worry. It's truly disappointing. And that's really all I wanted to say on the matter. Thanks for watching my segment of the video. Subscribe to my channel if you want. I don't really care. Goodbye.
Hey there. Do you remember GTA? No, not those. No, not those. Not that one! But those. Yeah, the PS2 era of GTA has probably got to be not only the most iconic games in the entire GTA franchise, but are some of the most iconic games for the entire gaming industry. Now, as I'm sure that both of you may know, the GTA franchise mainly started out as top-down 2D games that truly make you appreciate the fact that evolution is indeed possible. Take that, humankind! But it's not until the third installment when the games really started to pick up some steam, with this huge 3D open-world city to explore, with virtually endless, at the time, possibilities of what you can do in the sandbox. And the game was a commercial and critical success, and was Rockstar Games' big break into the world of video games. And after that, we got two successors to GTA 3 in the form of Vice City and San Andreas. Each of these games taking the already established formula of GTA 3 and refining each game so that they looked and played even better with each new installment. Each taking place in new cities, new weapons, new vehicles, and cheats. Remember those? This is where true artists were born. Who needs road? And while we do still have have more recent generation titles like GTA 4 and GTA 5, most if not all people will definitely say that the PS2 era of GTA is where the series peaked. Not for the nostalgia factor, but the fact that these games are all just a blast to play. And with as an iconic franchise as these, it's not uncommon to want to be able to play these games on newer hardware. I mean, yeah, the purest way to play all of these games are still cemented in hooking up your old PS2 to an old school CRT display, but not many people nowadays have those things just lying around their households, and most people's older gen systems most likely don't work anymore because of a combination of age to Last of Us 2 players. So obviously with newer gen hardware, it'd be a no-brainer to sell your most iconic game franchise on these newer systems, and they did. By just either porting over the games onto these systems via emulation, or by just giving us an upscaled version of GTA San Andreas that was an okay novelty. But still, this isn't exactly what fans wanted. Now, it was fairly common during the 360 and PS3 era to focus primarily on HD remasters, taking old games, bringing them up to snuff with a higher resolution, and more often than not, bundling an entire series of games together all in one package. I own quite a few of them myself, and I only had to slaughter a few families to get some of these. I swear I'm mentally stable. And as previously mentioned, San Andreas got the exact same treatment. But when the PS4 and Xbox One came out, the idea of remaking games became more of an appealing idea. Graphics and gameplay have evolved so much to the point where games that were originally one style became completely reworked into others. Examples of which are Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, don't talk about Resident Evil 3, Shadow of the Colossus, and Final Fantasy VII. And those are just a few games that got this treatment. So for a lot of people, especially during this time of absence, people have been hoping for a proper remaster of these beloved classics. And with Rockstar not making a proper follow-up to GTA for damn near 8 years at this point. Yeah, 8 years. You feel old. Not many fans were hopeful until we got this. Yep, I'm pretty sure few people saw this coming, and I was one of them, cause I was 3 days late. Rockstar finally announced a remaster collection of the PS2 trilogy. Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, the 3 games that were on the PS2 back in the early 2000s when the gaming industry wasn't fun. Yeah, shit name aside, people were undoubtedly hyped, me included. And then the first gameplay trailer dropped, so... Yeah, you think the hot coffee mod looked like 2 blow-up dolls going at it after their owners forgot to deflate them at night so they became sentient? Oh boy, these models are not exactly what I consider to be the next step in remastering these games for modern audiences. I understand the idea. Spruce up the original models so that they look prettier, but also retain some of the geometry from the PS2 games to have them still look consistent with those games. Because I'm sure that the PS2 models are a form of art at this point. But hey, environments and lightings were definitely improved, for better or for worse. And they apparently have quality of life improvements to enhance the gameplay experience. So everything was starting to look up for this game's release until you found out what Rockstar was doing behind the scenes. Now, for me at least, remakes and remasters should be a way to preserve the original experiences of each of these games, and to just make them more accessible to newer generation of players who could never experience them originally. And, if possible, try to enhance the games where the original struggled either visually or technically, but should never attempt to replace the original. Rockstar said f*** you to that idea and decided that they were gonna remove all original versions of these games off of all digital storefronts, meaning that the new edition would be the only way to play them. Why would people go back to these ugly and obviously more inferior versions when we have these new versions boasting better visuals, better gameplay, and an obvious replacement for your Ken sex doll? I really don't understand what the hell Rockstar was thinking here. The whole other point of remakes is to sometimes let people go back and experience the original games. I can tell you a large amount of people wanted to go back and experience the original Resident Evil on the PS1 after playing the GameCube remake. Same can be said to somebody who wanted to go back and experience the original Metal Gear Solid after playing the Twin Snakes. It's not like Capcom and Konami were like, here's these games that make Meryl and Jill look moist. You don't want to be staring at polygonal breeds the whole time, do you? They obviously don't know their target demographic. But going back to GTA again, Rockstar just wanted these original games gone. Not only that, but it didn't really seem like they themselves had a lot of faith with this project, because a lot of the marketing was still overshadowed by GTA Online, and the people who developed it wasn't Rockstar themselves. Oh no. Do you hire somebody like Bluepoint Games for example, who did the Shadow of the Colossus and the Demon Souls remake. Nope, just get some developer known for making mobile games to handle remaking your beloved classics. What could possibly go wrong? Actually, a lot of things. And do you want to know what the worst part about all of this is? This was all pre-release. The fucking game hasn't even come out yet, and there was already so much negative going against it. But alas, for all we know, the experience might still be salvageable upon the game's release. So come on, Rockstar, give us a reason to enjoy these remakes. Give us a reason to never want to touch the original games again. Please give us a reason to love again. Nope. They shat all over our dreams, therefore gaming is dead and will forever be associated with nerdhood once more. So, with tons, and I mean tons of glitches, weirdly structured character models— did I mention there's tons and tons of glitches? But look at this wonky shooting! Performance issues, especially if you're getting this on the PS4 and the X-Bone, and strippers that will struggle to give you the horn. This is necessary analysis. The GTA trilogy was ultimately slammed by fans and critics alike for a lot of these reasons, and the world ultimately decided the originals were better. No shit. So after all the backlash, Rockstar immediately re-added the classic games back to digital storefronts and are trying to fix the remasters in order to improve the stability of the game. But at this point, the damage had already been done. People hated this version of the game, and I think it damaged Rockstar's credibility in the video game industry as a whole, as they basically released a full price— oh yeah, I forgot to mention— full price cash grab in order to capitalize on people's nostalgia for these classics. And in the end, it just soured everybody's view on the company, so at this point, I'm not assuming everybody's looking forward to GTA 6 as much. This is a good example of how greed and not treating a legacy of a franchise with love and care can damage your reputation. So Rockstar, if you're listening, use this as a learning experience. People love these games you crafted all those years ago. A lot of developers followed in your footsteps and were able to create successful games and even franchises based off of the groundwork you guys laid in 2001, but this will be forever stained on the company's history, and you better be doing a damn good job if you want to fix that. Now please, just give us our Minecraft strippers back! Oh.
Hello everyone, I'm TheSuitedBird. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the date is November 12th, 2020, which is actually my birthday, and that is the date the PS5 launched. And retailers were like, okay, so here's the thing. You can only buy them online. So the computer geeks who had been stuck in their houses for lockdown since like March were just like, immediately problems arose. People set up bots to instantly buy multiple consoles online, and then they would resell them for a major markup. It was insane. People were literally paying double for the console, and then sometimes people would just receive a picture of it. Almost no one was actually able to get the console. Keyword almost. So one day my girlfriend and I were hanging out and she's like, hey, want some ramen? And all I could think about was that sodium, so we drove 5 minutes to the closest Walmart, and I'm just like, hey, I want to look at the gaming aisle real quick. And lo and behold, there was a PlayStation 5 there that I later learned was there by mistake. So I walked up to the Walmart people, I'm like, hey, could I have that? And they were even confused. They're like, that's not supposed to be there. So I walked in there for ramen, and I left with a PS5. And also the ramen, of course, because I'm not passing up on that sodium intake. This situation also happened with the new Xbox, but I only talk about good consoles. But to this day though, this is still happening. There are still hundreds of thousands of people who can't get a PS5. I actually made a video on the reviews of Walmart's PS5s, and there's so many angry people who still can't get it, and it's hilarious because it's not happening to me. If you want to see some really salty people, just look at any tweet relating to the PlayStation 5 that the PlayStation's Twitter account puts out. It's hilarious. Anyways, thank you, The Beak, for having me on here, and everyone, have a happy 2022. Hope your 2021 was great. Let's move on.
With all of that being said though, at the end of the video here, I do just want to say a massive thank you to all of the YouTubers who were involved in this pretty big project. Because without all of your help, this big 2021 project collab thing, it just wouldn't have been able to happen. So if you, viewer, enjoyed any of their sections in this video, their channels are linked in the description of this video. So 100% be sure to go and check them out. One more thing. Now, this video is being uploaded quite soon after Christmas and quite soon before New Year's. So, well, if you're watching this video, I do just want to say that I hope you had a Merry Christmas and I hope that your New Year's is pretty good. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.